The scorching surface of Solaris 7 glimmered under a sun that was merciless. Every living creature on the planet respected its heat, except for those foolish enough to linger in its rays. And now, one alien being, small and fragile, was fighting against a force it had never faced before. Kyla's delicate skin was almost translucent under the sun's blaze. Her kind, the Lumerians, were nocturnal, creatures of shadow and moonlight, built to live in darkness. But today, she had been forced into the open hunting for a rare medicinal crystal her people needed desperately. The sun didn't just burn her skin, it seared her very essence, threatening to end her life within minutes. She screamed, a high-pitched sound that carried over the barren plains. The energy from her body warped the air around her, tiny sparks igniting as her strength began to fail. Her legs gave out, and she collapsed to the ground, curling into herself as if that could shield her from the sun's wrath. From the distance, a human watched, his chest tightening at the sight. Captain Marcus Elan had landed on Solaris 7 on what should have been a routine mineral survey. He wasn't supposed to get involved in alien affairs, but something about the Lumerian struggle made it impossible to ignore. Marcus ran, boots kicking up the golden dust, and risked the deadly heat for every step. The sun beat down on him as well, but his human physiology, protected by his suit, gave him an advantage. Kyla's small, trembling form was now barely recognizable, her energy fading with each passing second. "Hang on," Marcus shouted, though he wasn't sure if she could hear him. Time slowed as he reached her. Her eyes, normally a soft silver, flickered weakly like dying stars. He extended his hand, hesitating only for a moment, because touching a Lumerian directly was dangerous. Humans could burn them in return. But instinct overrode caution. He touched her, just briefly. A shock surged between them. Kyla's body ignited, not in fire, but in a brilliant glow of life energy. The sun's deadly heat met resistance as Marcus' touch stabilized her fragile form. She gasped, her luminous body flickering like a candle in the wind, and looked up at him, fear and confusion mirrored in her eyes. "You saved me?" Her voice was barely more than a whisper, but it carried relief, disbelief, and something else Marcus couldn't place. I think I did," Marcus replied, his suit's visor fogged from the heat and his own adrenaline. But there was no time to pause. The planet was unforgiving, and Solaris 7 wasn't done testing them. Kyla's body needed shelter immediately, away from the sun's cruel rays. Marcus hoisted her into his arms, her glow radiating against his armor, and ran toward the nearest cave system he had spotted earlier. The rocks inside promised shade, though no real comfort. Inside the cave, Kyla's strength slowly returned, though she shivered with exhaustion. Marcus sat her down, keeping a careful distance. "You're human," she said, voice trembling. "Only a human's touch could do this." Marcus nodded, unsure what to say. He had heard stories about the Lumerians' unique biology but never imagined it would link life and touch so directly. "Why were you out there alone?" he asked gently. Kyla's eyes darkened with worry. "The crystals, my people need them. Without them, our energy fields collapse, and the night creatures, our kind, cannot survive." "I had no choice." Marcus frowned. "That's dangerous. You could have died." Her silver eyes flashed. "I almost did." They were silent for a moment, the cave quiet except for the hum of Kyla's glowing energy. Marcus realized the sun wasn't the only thing burning here, there was something inside her, a life force desperate to survive, and somehow he had become part of it. Suddenly, a low rumble echoed through the cave. Marcus froze, hand on his blaster. Outside, the sandstorm was forming, a sudden tempest, typical for Solaris 7, but deadly for someone like Kyla. "We need to move deeper," Marcus said, urgency in his voice. "The storm will reach here in minutes." Kyla struggled to her feet, weak but determined. "I can't survive another minute in the open." "But my crystals. I can't leave them." Marcus shook his head. "You'll get another chance. Right now, your life matters more than any crystal." Trust flickered in her eyes, small but tangible. They moved together, deeper into the cave system, winding through tunnels that glowed faintly with bioluminescent moss. Every step was a fight against fatigue, against the urgency of her life fading. Eventually, they reached a hidden chamber, naturally shielded from the sun's radiation. Kyla collapsed onto the soft rock, letting Marcus sit beside her. Her glow was now stable, pulsing softly like a heartbeat. "You saved me," she whispered again, not just as fact, but as truth. Marcus smiled faintly, though his mind raced with questions. He had crossed interstellar boundaries he didn't fully understand, risked his life for someone not of his species, but seeing her live, seeing her energy stabilize, made everything worthwhile. Then, unexpectedly, Kyla reached out, not for his touch, but for his hand. Marcus hesitated only a moment, then held it. The glow that surged this time was warmer, calmer, a silent acknowledgement between two beings from different worlds. "The crystals, will you help?" she asked, still weak but resolute. Marcus nodded. "We do it together. But first, survive." And so, an unlikely partnership formed, born not out of duty or mission, but from a human's instinct to save a life, and an alien's desperate need for survival. In that moment, as the sun scorched the world outside, the first bridge between humanity and the Lumerians was built not with words, but with touch. For Kyla, the sun would always burn. But now, she knew one human could defy it and perhaps, in time, more. The storm outside raged, but inside the cave, two lives so different, so fragile, had found a spark that not even the sun could destroy.